first female mayor of Nashville, spending the public's money on an affair with her bodyguard.
Do you take pause at all about bringing criminal charges that at the heart are based on a romantic relationship, especially with the first woman mayor of the city of New Orleans?
What have they asked for?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Okay, so you don't want to say.
I don't know what you're asking me. You're asking me, you're being inappropriate in terms of what you're asking me. Investigations that are ongoing, and we're complying.
But today's indictment alleges she did not fully comply.
And here we go. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. And Mayor Cantrell of New Orleans has, shall we say, been having a pretty rough go at it in 2025. And she's been labeled the OG city girl mayor. Shout out. If you know where that came from, if you know the content creator that came up with the term, the OG city girl mayor, in reference to LaToya Cantrell, drop her name down in the chat. Shout out to that content creator. But she's been problematic for a minute. And I just hate it because apparently she was really beneficial when she started. She really was helpful when she started. But as all things go, once you start moving up the food chain and more power is allotted to you, they get corrupted. I think the old adage that absolute power corrupts absolutely goes without saying in this story. So let's check it out and let's see where we got to go. Let's go.
It has been a historic day in New Orleans. For the first time, a sitting mayor of New Orleans is facing federal charges. Today, a federal grand jury handed up an indictment against Mayor LaToya Cantrell and her former bodyguard, Vappie. She faces 11 counts, including wire fraud, obstruction, and lying to a grand jury. This all centers around their alleged romantic relationship and how much it cost the city of New Orleans. The indictment alleges that for about 3 years, Cantrell manufactured opportunities to travel with Vappie to engage in personal activities at taxpayers' expense, costing the city about $70,000. And Cantrell and Vappie are accused of trying to cover up their relationship by lying, even under oath, and deleting WhatsApp messages. We've got it all covered tonight.
Before we get too far afield, the fact that she was making up trips, that is crazy. We're going to see some of them. But the fact that she's like, oh, yeah, we're about to go to this conference over in Wyoming, and the day before cancel and then go to Napa Valley or go this place or the other. Yo, that is some shady, allegedly some shady behavior. Let's
Coming
go.
up, we are taking you back to a sit-down interview in late 2023 between the mayor and investigative reporter Katie Moore. That's when Katie asked Cantrell about her compliance with investigations. Plus, we're hearing from the attorney of Ann Bro, the woman who took an infamous picture of Cantrell and Vappie at Tableau Restaurant that led to a major legal fight. And we're looking back at the highs and lows of Mayor Cantrell's political career.
A federal grand jury charged New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell with conspiring with her former bodyguard, Vappie, to commit wire fraud and cover up an affair for years while both were married. That includes allegedly charging city taxpayers $70,000 for Vappie's expenses during trips together. And Cantrell allegedly deleted thousands of WhatsApp messages and then lied to a federal grand jury under oath about it. Acting U.S. Attorney Michael Simpson says this prosecution isn't about Cantrell and Vappie's alleged affair.
Did you take pause at all about bringing criminal charges that at the heart are based on a romantic relationship, especially with the first woman mayor of the city of New Orleans?
To me, it's irrelevant that it's romance or that it's female. What is relevant is that it is an incredible breach of the public trust. It's an incredible betrayal of people's confidence in their own government, and it's a violation of innumerable federal criminal laws.
Former federal prosecutor Matt Chester helped convict former Mayor Ray Nagin in 2014.
There are serious allegations in here. There are allegations of falsification of documentation to get city money. There are allegations of lying to a federal grand jury, lying to federal law enforcement. But at its core, those lies, those activities were about hiding the illicit relationship.
A 2018 state case in Tennessee also involved the first female mayor of Nashville spending the public's money on an affair with her bodyguard. An associate allegedly warned Cantrell about that in 2022, and she texted back, "Don't accuse me."
In terms of target, I don't know even what that means. So relative to any investigations, what I do is comply. And what I encourage all of my employees to do is to comply. We want effective government, and I want to ensure that we're doing everything the right way. So we welcome investigations, and we've proven that.
What have they asked for?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Have federal investigators asked for any communications that are yours or anything related to you from City Hall via subpoena?
Investigations that are ongoing, and we're complying.
Okay, so you don't want to say?
I don't know what you're asking me. You're asking me, you're being inappropriate in terms of what you're asking me. But what I will say, any and all investigations that are ongoing, regardless of any agency, the City of New Orleans and me, LaToya Cantrell, will always comply.
And how is that an inappropriate question to ask what federal investigators have asked you for?
I'm sorry?
How is it an inappropriate question to ask what federal investigators have subpoenaed?
Because, first of all, it's in regards to investigations that are ongoing, and investigations ask for certain information, and we all comply, and we'll continue to do that.
I think she's just saying, kind of asked and answered it, so we can just...
Yeah, I mean, it's investigations and any and all. And the City of New Orleans and me as mayor will always comply.
That's a very interesting statement, and she keeps saying comply. I want to take a quick detour because I want to review this, but I want to go back in time because there's something that happened with Mayor Cantrell a long time ago, and y'all might not even remember this story. So let me bring it in. I'm trying to do this. It's a single man show over here. Trying to bring this in. I think I got it. Let's go. All right. This story now makes a whole lot more sense. And actually, this is a story back 2 years ago when Mayor Cantrell was getting called on the carpet because she did not want to pay back monies that were that she had overbooked for airfare. And I just want you to hear, when I saw it initially again 2 years ago, it just kind of went over my head. I'm like, oh, she's just, being a cantankerous, out of control, unaccountable mayor. But now in reference to these trips and everything that's going on with Vappie and this indictment, this makes a whole lot more sense. Check it out.
Whether or not New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell needs to reimburse the city for her first-class travel upgrades may come down to who she works for. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Sheree Skipson. The city travel policy is that city employees must buy the lowest airfare available or pay the difference if they elect to travel in other sections.
And Paul Murphy reports the legal question now is, does the policy apply to elected officials, such as the mayor?
A defiant New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell is refusing to pay the city roughly $29,000 she charged this year to upgrade her city air travel to business and first class.
Okay. And I just wanted to look at this. It doesn't say who went on the trip with her, but I just think it's really interesting that she was back. Well, there's two flights. Oh, it's back and forth. I'm sorry, they're going back and forth. But I just thought that was super wild. Let's finish this up.
Expenses incurred doing business on behalf of the City of New Orleans will not be reimbursed to the City of New Orleans. One thing is clear, I do my job, and I will continue to do it with distinction, with dignity and integrity every step of the way. And so that's what I have to say on that.
The city's travel policy states employees are required to purchase the lowest airfare available, and that employees who choose to upgrade from coach economy or business class flights are solely responsible for the difference in cost. The policy also states any reconciliation of travel expenses that results in overpayment by the city requires that the employee reimburse the city within 20 business days.
Well, the policy of the city of New Orleans says that employees, if they decide to fly first class as opposed to the lower fare, they have to reimburse the city.
The mayor listed the city of New Orleans as her employer on her financial disclosure form. But New Orleans attorney and legal analyst Tim Mesh says that doesn't necessarily make her a city employee subject to the travel policy.
But the issue is, traditionally, what have mayors of municipalities been considered? And in just about all the circumstances, they're not considered to be employees.
City Council President Helena Moreno says she is now seeking legal opinions from both the city attorney and the council's attorney as to whether the travel policy applies to the mayor and if she has to reimburse the city for her travel upgrades. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
So we asked
I thought it was super interesting, given again, she's in trouble now for this. Is it possible that part of it, I would love to see as it breaks down, was this part of what was going on as well? She was paying for the upgrade for her and her boyfriend as well? Because, $29,000 in a year of travel is pretty wild. But were you paying for your security detail to get an upgrade, and your security was your boyfriend? I thought that was wild, but let's bring this back in.
Today's indictment alleges she did not fully comply with the grand jury subpoenas by failing to turn over thousands of WhatsApp messages that were manually deleted. Questions remain about her role in the federal case against building inspection company owner Randy Farrell. He's accused of bribing an unnamed public official, but his indictment makes it clear that public official was Cantrell. At this point, she has not been officially accused of any crime in that case. One of the mayor's former neighbors in the Pontalba was already suing her in federal court for civil rights violations. Ambro claims the mayor improperly accessed and published her confidential information. And now those claims have popped up in Cantrell's federal indictment.
The indictment alleges Cantrell and Vappie took 14 different trips together to places such as San Francisco, New York, Martha's Vineyard, and Los Angeles, costing city taxpayers more than $70,000 just for Vappie's travel expenses, separate from Mayor Cantrell's own travel cost. According to the indictment, around October 2021, Vappie went to Scotland with Cantrell and later sent her a WhatsApp message, which is a free encrypted phone messaging app. Vappie's message allegedly said the Scotland trip was, quote, where it all started. The indictment also points to another message Cantrell sent Vappie. The times when we are truly alone traveling is what spoils me the most. The feds allege beginning in October 2021, while carrying on a personal relationship, Cantrell and Vappie attempted to disguise it by making Vappie's interactions with the mayor appear to relate to his official duties. The indictment says Mayor Cantrell canceled a fall work trip to Miami in 2022 and instead booked a personal trip to Martha's Vineyard to spend time with Vappie while he attended a conference as a representative for the Housing Authority of New Orleans, HANO, a position Cantrell appointed him to serve. The indictment includes WhatsApp messages from the trip to Martha's Vineyard. Vappie messages, hey baby, I'm going to go to lunch with the guys and come be with you at the end of today's conference. Later, Cantrell, so that is about 3:30. You will be done? Vappie, meaning we get out earlier. Cantrell, let me know about where for lunch to make sure I'm out of sight. The feds also say they have messages between Vappie and Cantrell planning a trip to a conference in California. Cantrell wrote to Vappie, SF is April 6th through 8th. It officially ends at 4 p.m. on the 8th. Do we return on the 8th and stay at apartment or return on the 9th? Later, Vappie replied, we stay and do the Napa Valley like you said. Cantrell, perfect. Thumbs up emoji. Fox 8 obtained travel records from that California trip and found Cantrell, Vappie, and the mayor's digital director all stayed in California through April 9th. Records show the entire trip cost taxpayers nearly $10,000. The indictment also contains a picture of the two of them together when they traveled to several California wineries. Other WhatsApp messages in the indictment include the pair planning a trip to D.C. together. Cantrell wrote, so I will have to go to D.C. on Monday. Vappie, I know. Cantrell, will you be going? Vappie, absolutely, if it's possible. Later, Cantrell messages, I will make that happen if you say it's okay. Vappie, it's definitely okay. Cantrell, okay. smiley face emoji. Later, Vappie messaged Cantrell that the DC.
I still think it's hilarious whenever people read what an emoji is. That just cracks me up. I don't know why. Smiley face emoji. Fire emoji. Wow. They was out there for real. Planning trips, buying silverware, picking out curtains. They were serious.
The trip was, quote, another great trip and also another leg on a journey, and told Cantrell that he loved her and their physical relationship. In all, the indictment alleges Vappie and Cantrell exchanged over 15,000 personal messages, pictures, and voice messages on WhatsApp to, quote, avoid detection and continue their relationship. The indictment also says Vappie and Cantrell deleted messages they exchanged. Federal prosecutors say Cantrell signed and authorized the travel expense forms Vappie submitted, despite knowing they falsely reflected that Vappie had engaged exclusively in official business activities.
Is it fair for us to ask questions about this?
It's fair to ask questions because this is a taxpayer-owned property, and these are employees paid by the taxpayers.
Then there's the Upper Pontalba apartments. Fox 8 first exposed the long hours Cantrell and Vappie spent alone there, while Vappie claimed he was on the clock with Cantrell doing little to no work while inside. The indictment says they treated it as their personal shared residence, with Cantrell often calling it our apartment in messages. Cantrell and Vappie allegedly manipulated their schedules to allow them additional time to spend together in the city-owned Pontalba apartment while Vappie claimed to be on duty. The indictment also says they discussed having someone sweep the apartment for recording devices. Federal prosecutors appear to specifically mention Fox 8's investigation. On or about September 23, 2022, Cantrell and Vappie discussed a public records request seeking information about Cantrell's schedule and whether a particular local investigative reporter was, quote, on to us. Lee Zurich and Fox 8 submitted public records requests to Cantrell's office asking for details about her schedule and Vappie's timesheets, both on September 23rd and in the days before that. After Fox 8 began airing reports on Vappie and Cantrell's time together in the apartment, federal investigators say Vappie conducted multiple online searches about Zurich, including where does Lee Zurich live. The feds say Cantrell and Vappie also discussed they needed to be careful and to be straight together, allegedly to avoid having their relationship detected. The feds say when a city associate tried to warn her and stop the mayor, texting, quote, spending public funds and using public resources for your personal relationship was illegal, Cantrell responded that her relationship with Vappie was not about a personal relationship. Now, this indictment also says Cantrell and Vappie repeatedly lied about their relationship and says Cantrell supplied false documents and lied in her testimony to the grand jury.
Man. Oh, so this is why I never got my tax refund from the state of Louisiana. I don't know about the state, but okay, gotcha. Imagine thinking WhatsApp messages can be retrieved after deletion. Don't get your honey where you make your money. Wait. Don't get your honey where you make your money. Oh, I agree. I got that. Another funny. Hey, I see the similarities. While her city is falling apart. About time. This case has been going on for over 2 years. Stop voting by race. Do your research on the person before you vote for them. As far as I understand, Cantrell was, and when she was at the local level, she was actually very useful, very helpful. So I don't know if it was just a vote because of race or even by gender. I think she was, from what I read, she was a decent, I think it was like city council and something lower than that. She was decent. Number 1 corrupt city, Chicago. Number 2, New Orleans. I can totally agree with that. I can totally agree with that. There's some other corrupt cities that probably are scratching and clawing to be number 1 and number 2. But hey, I can get with that. Y'all, what do you think? For real? Do you think that this Cantrell story is just going to blow over and we'll all forget about it in 6 months? Or do you think, like I think, this is the end of LaToya Cantrell and Mr. Vappie? They're going to probably do some time. What do you think? Down in the comments, let me know. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm glad you find value in it. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.